What was Chewacla like before camp?
It was mostly a hiking park. There, you could still mountain bike there, but the few trails that existed were very, very rough and not suited for mountain biking.
What's the oldest trail in Chewacla?
The oldest trail actually was the first one that C.A.M.P built on, which is the Creekview Trail, which incorporated a lot of the history of the park, because the park was built by the CCC during the Great Depression, the Civilian Conservation Corps. A lot of good history there. And Creekview incorporates a lot of those original trails that they built.
There's a definite relationship between the little college town of Auburn, some 40 miles east of Montgomery, and Chewacla State Park, which is being developed near there. Back in the gay 90s, bicycles hauled their fathers and mothers some 6 miles out of town to a beauty spot then known as Wright's Mill, now Chewacla State Park. State parks under National Park Service planning are much more than mere recreation areas. Chewacla is already demonstrating the equally important educational side of the movement. Art students using paints and canvases as well as cameras are finding its beauty spots inspiring. There are, of course, beautiful bridle trails, but of a special sentimental interest in this particular locality has been the restoration of an old bicycle path which has been used for almost half a century.
When did you start mountain biking?
I actually started mountain biking when I was in high school. My very first race was at Chewacla Park. It was the infancy of mountain biking. Loved it ever since.
Probably in the late 90s.
I started mountain biking when I was in high school. Me and some of my friends we'd find some trails out in the woods and we would ride our bikes on it, and that was, I guess, mountain biking. So earliest I can remember is like 94 or 95.
I started mountain biking in 1997, and how I got into it was I was in the military, I was in the Air Force, and I was stationed out in California. And California is where mountain biking originated, and that's where the whole mountain bike sport originated from, even across the world. It started in California. So I had a friend that had a mountain bike, and he asked me, hey, would you like to go ride? So I went and rode, and the rest is history. I've just been riding ever since.
I've been riding bikes since I was about 4 years old, here when I was 8. About 10 years.
When did you join N.I.C.A?
Probably the second year N.I.C.A was in Alabama, which 2015, 2014, something like that. Probably 2015.
Well, N.I.C.A came to Alabama, and actually the infancy of it was in 2013. We actually formed the team in the league in 2014. And Auburn actually had the largest team in the state, and has actually continued to have the largest team in the state. And Alabama, N.I.C.A actually started in Berkeley, California, and has come all the way across the country. And its first year, we were the second largest league, first-year league in the country, which is great for Alabama. Adam actually was the one that brought N.I.C.A to Lee County, Adam Cruz, and the group, it was Adam, myself, Phillip, Darden, Hero, Fukai. I cannot remember everybody that was at that initial meeting, but it was a good core group of camp members that most everybody's still involved with the team to this day that started it that first year.
So as the league director, I started in June of 2017 this year. So I've just been a couple months doing the league director position in the Alabama League. I was up in Pennsylvania at the U.S. Nationals Mountain Bike Championships. I was competing in the championship at U.S. Nationals, and I'd heard about this organization called N.I.C.A, and I'd actually heard about it on a radio station. And I said, you know, that'd be really cool. I'd found out that it was about high school, getting kids on bikes, getting the sport started. And I thought, you know, we don't have that here in Alabama. Let me see about getting that here in Alabama. So I actually had called California's, where the head office is, and said, hey, I'd love to be able to get N.I.C.A here in Alabama. What does it all involve? What does it take? And they had told me that another gentleman had already started the process with them. So I said, well, give me his name, let me contact him. And so I got in touch with him and said, hey, what do you need from me? I'm down here in Auburn. I'd love to get started with you and love to do whatever I can do to help. And so Eddie Fryer is his name, the person that started our league here in Alabama. He said, hey, I'd love you to join the team. So I joined the team as an operations manager the first 3 years. And during that time when I first started, I said, you know, we got perfect place for kids to get on bikes here. Why don't I just start a team here? So I enlisted some of our local camp members, Bill, Coach Bill, Eric, and a few others to help start getting organized. And shoot, we had I think 22 kids that first year. We really hit it out of the park on that first year with the kids. I thought we'd be struggling to get 10, but we got 22, and well, we had a blast with it.
When did you join C.A.M.P?
I was a part of C.A.M.P from the get-go. So when the organization formed, I was the vice president and have been the president since about October of 2013.
I joined C.A.M.P, let me think back. It's been, I don't remember the year I joined C.A.M.P, but it was the first year that they organized. Actually, C.A.M.P wasn't even organized. It was a chapter out of Chattahoochee Valley that we all joined first before we became C.A.M.P. And once we had enough members, then we formed our own chapter organization. So I've been a member, I don't know, a long time.
I joined C.A.M.P, I was actually, I'm on the board that formed C.A.M.P. I'm on the advisory board, or the board of directors, and it's a 501c3, which is a non-profit organization. We formed C.A.M.P, I could be wrong about this, I believe it actually started in 2010. And I still continue to serve on the board.
I've been a board member since C.A.M.P started, that's correct, since day one.
We actually formed C.A.M.P to build trails in Chihuahua, so it arrived at the same time, around 2010.
So is it in any other parks?
It actually is. We do help at Tuskegee, at the National Forest, and at at Ogletree School, where you have Lake Wilmore trails. We built those trails.
Were you a part of the group that started this team?
So I was one of the people that helped start everything here, and I wanted to join in because I thought it was important to help bring kids to mountain biking and introduce them to a sport that I really enjoy. It's something that I enjoyed when I was their age, and hopefully have them be to where, you know, I am now, being an advocate for the sport and helping with their local trails. I looked at it also as a way to help build our area and get mountain biking to a much more prominent level. And then also with the league, I've been helpful with the league from the get-go.
When did you join the Auburn mountain biking team?
2 years ago. 2015 probably?
About 4 years ago in high school, and I was in the N.I.C.A team, so yeah. 2015 I think.
9th grade, so 2 years ago. This will be my 3rd year racing.
First year it started up in Alabama, so 4 years ago, 2013, 2014.
The first year was probably my favorite. And I say that because there was no expectations, no one had individual goals, no one had team goals. We were out there just to have fun, and whatever we experienced was just a bonus. So it's kind of like every time you went to practice or every time you went to a race, you're experiencing it for the first time.
Those my favorite races, any race that this team is in. I love every one of them and enjoy coaching all these awesome athletes.
My favorite race is the Tannehill course. There's a really big hill at the beginning, I like climbing, so it's my favorite course.
I can't really point out what my favorite race was, but my favorite year was probably my freshman year. I took home state championship and the team came in second place. And then my sophomore year, the team came in first and took the state championship from Hubbard. So it was a pretty great 2 years.
Favorite race? I'd say selfishly it's here, just because we get to host a race on a lot of the trails that I've spent a lot of the time building and helping maintain. And favorite year, I don't have a favorite year. Every year it gets better and better. We get more and more kids out here, and it's just the excitement grows and grows, and their parents get involved, and it's really exciting to see it just kind of grow into its own thing.
I think last year at Tannehill and 2 years ago at Tannehill, both of those.
Well, that'd be an easy one. My favorite year would be 2015, which was the year that we won the state championship.
What is the best feeling while on a mountain bike?
Just throwing my leg over the bike is the best feeling for me. I just enjoy getting out and riding and being out in nature and being with friends and family. It's fun.
The rush you get when you're about to hit a tree, but you don't.
The best feeling on the mountain bike for me is, to sum it up in one word, is accomplishment. There are so many things in mountain biking on the trail that create obstacles for you, whether your body's not feeling good, or you're mentally just not into it, or you have this thought process, well, I can't do that, and you get over it and you accomplish it. That's the best feeling on the mountain bike, is being able to accomplish a lot of things.
I don't know that there is a best. The whole experience is magic.
I like climbing, so like just climbing up hills and then getting to the downhill after.
I guess the race nerves you get for every race, just the fun, and it's different every time. So, well, the feeling you get before a race is just it's a huge adrenaline rush. You don't know what's to come, so you're nervous about it, you're shaking, and got an adrenaline rush going.
The sense of accomplishment, being able to do something that I wasn't previously capable of doing, and then also learning and trying something new. Even still, at 35 years old, I get to get out on a mountain bike and push myself and push my limits as far as what I can do and what I've done previously. And that's always something awesome, is doing something for the first time.
What is like favorite or like most treasured like feeling or part of being on the mountain biking team?
Well, for me, being a coach and being called coach has always been, I tell people all the time, that's been my favorite part. Is
that again, I've been here since the beginning, so it's been really cool to see this group grow from our first year up into where we are now.
I think two things. One, it is seeing a lot of the families really come together, seeing them get out and ride with their children. And two, it is seeing how proud the kids are of themselves and their teammates when they do well at the races. That since the team was started, there's been a huge increase in the number of families who've been coming out to Chihuahua and riding. We have moms and dads that never thought they'd ride. They're riding with their children. We have a lot of kids who have formed friendships and ride when we're not practicing. I think that the mountain biking is a good thing for the community. It promotes lifelong wellness, enjoyment of the outdoors, and great family time.
Favorite memory of being on the team? Probably when we won the championship in Oak Mountain. I thought that was really neat, being able to see everybody that participated with the team so excited about winning that state championship. I thought that was pretty darn cool. And just the overall, the excitement that all the kids have when we get a trophy or when we do well in a race, that to me is it's just awesome.
The best part of being on the mountain bike team is watching athletes grow in their sport and their love of it, and getting the confidence that they get from doing what they're doing on the bike.
I think the best part is that it's just like a big family. Like everybody's friends with each other. Like I can go out there and like have a conversation with anybody on the team, just like be friends with them.
Do you have anything you'd like to say to the audience, like to encourage them to like join the team, or encourage them to look into N.I.C.A or any kind of mountain biking stuff?
Yeah, it's a lifelong sport. I encourage everybody to check it out, and I promise you, you will not regret it.
Mountain biking is pretty fun, so you should probably come out and join. Come ride with us on Sundays. That's all I got to say.